So my daughter Erin Cronin, who is 21 now, when she was 12 months old, she presented as very thin arms and thin legs, and her stomach stuck out quite a bit, which we noticed when we would give her a bath. So we were concerned and we went to the doctor and said her body doesn't look right. So we were sent to a specialist, and at 16 months they diagnosed her with celiac, which basically meant that up to that point her body was not receiving nutrients and she was starving herself because her body wasn't taking the food that we were giving her. So when we went to the University of Chicago, who were very familiar with celiac, we had Erin in front of the doctor, and the doctor basically took one look at her as she walked across the room in her diapers, that they said, we want her tested for cystic fibrosis and celiac because she looks like she could have either one. So at that point, they came back with a diagnosis of celiac, and we met with a nutritionist at that point, and they kind of gave us an overview of what we could expect going forward with her diet as an individual and as a family. So when the nutritionist sat down with us and kind of gave us an idea that we would have to really guard her food choices quite closely, meaning she had to have her own toaster, she had to have her own butter spread, her own peanut butter, so that there was no contamination and breadcrumbs didn't get mixed in with hers. It didn't hit us until we actually came back home and realized we had to go shopping, and we had no clue how to go about that. And this was before food labeling laws changed to where they now list gluten as an ingredient, or it contains gluten. They didn't have that. So it took us about 2 hours just to go grocery shopping to find the correct food choices that wouldn't make her sick. So looking back, what the biggest challenges were, as a parent, we're just making sure that things weren't going in Erin's mouth that would make her sick, violently sick. And so it was always we were always cautious, and it was always kind of on guard. But I also felt that Erin had to deal with a lot more from her point of view. Wherever she went, she had to, because she didn't know if there was gluten, she wouldn't take part in pizza parties. And any food that was brought to school, she wouldn't try because she knew what it felt like to get really, really sick. So it was a struggle. It's much better now when foods say there is gluten, and it's much more obvious to stay away from them.